Okay, so the coffee is really hitting in a good way today. And it's probably because I have not been sleeping very well for the past 2 to 3 days. And this is because this is day 3 that I am fighting a migraine. So it's not been fun. And yeah, so I'm just dealing with that. So if I seem a little sluggish, it's because I am. But the last time we had coffee, I think I left you with the impression that I am just terrified of the world and scared to death and hunkering down. And that's not the case. It was supposed to be more of, a conversation about, what are we defending and remembering why we defend the things that we do and why we, look out for the things that we do and want to defend our country's morals and our laws and our way of life and all of that good stuff. And it goes beyond politics, It's not just, you see the shit that's happening in Spain this week, right? And again, I've been fighting migraines, so I don't know the whole story, but it seems like thousands of migrants bum rushed the border of Spain, and I think they came from Morocco. I don't know the whole story. Like I said, I haven't been on top of the news like I normally have, but it's things like that I see. And it's like, you see them just kind of, and the people run past. Right. And it's like, when are we going to say enough's enough and actually do the work of protecting the things we value? And that's really where the conversation was supposed to go last week. And so this week is just, this coffee talk is just a continuation of that as I take another hit. Really good. This is a hazelnut roast, by the way, that I get from HEB. If you're a Texas person, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's the HEB brand, and it's delicious. Anyway, so here's the example. This is the story that I wanted to share this time to hopefully explain more what I was trying to convey last time. And it's this. I saw a news article on Yahoo of all places, which I didn't even realize Yahoo was still around until like a couple weeks ago. And so I've kind of been having this nostalgia moment of, oh, go see Yahoo. So I don't know. I grew up with getting, the Yahoo magazines and flipping through those when you could go to the grocery store and get those. And I loved it. I thought it was great. But anyway, there was an article posted on Yahoo that talked about Sean Hannity from Fox News and how he left Catholicism, that he now just deems himself as a Christian and no longer a Catholic, even though he has lived his entire life as a Catholic. That's what he was. Cradle Catholic is what they call it. I'll link to the article if you want to read it. It's a short read. It's just interesting to me. It's not political. It's not necessarily about faith. It's just about him choosing no longer to be a Catholic, and he is now going just to be Protestant, right? And I found that really interesting. And I lost a lot of respect for Sean Hannity because of that. It's like, I've always liked to hear what he had to say. I don't necessarily always agree with him. And this is one of those cases where I adamantly think he took the chicken shit way out. And that's really what bothers me whenever I'm talking about defending it. And it's like, so in the article, he talks about how there are things that have happened in the Catholic Church he doesn't agree with, and that it's been infiltrated. There is a great book by Dr. Taylor Marshall that I highly recommend called Infiltration, that talks about the Catholic Church and how for the past 200 plus years, there's been an active, an active attempt to infiltrate the Catholic Church. And I believe, so as does Dr. Taylor Marshall and Sean Hannity, that the Catholic Church has been infiltrated, and there are bad actors trying to corrupt the church. That we agree on. Sean Hannity and I agree on that. What I don't agree with him, and I think he took the bitch ass way out, is he left. He abandoned it. He left his entire way of living and his entire moral foundation He just abandoned it when things got tough or when it looked dire. And it's the same shit going on in our country now. Things look pretty dire and things are only appearing to get worse. And now it's spreading out to the world with what I just mentioned in Spain. And things are just getting batshit crazy. Well, where the hell are you going to go? We all live on planet Earth. Where the hell are you going to run to if every time things get hard, you bail and you take off? And that's what Sean Hannity did when he said he left the Catholic Church. You don't do that. As a man, you don't do that. As a man, if somebody is trying to infiltrate your family, let's say, another man's trying to come in and take your wife, or there's some guy who is treating your daughter horribly, right? You don't do that, and you don't just, throw your hands up and be like, oh, this is too much, I'm going to walk away. No, there was a young man, and I use the word young man generously, who thought he could put his hands on my daughter in my house. And it took 2 police officers to restrain me from getting to him. That's a true story. And that's the stuff. I'm a Texan, right? It's like, you don't do that shit. And you definitely don't do that shit in my house. And I won't tolerate that disrespect. But yet it seems like now in this day and age of everybody having to pussyfoot around feelings and don't want to upset people, and everybody's equal. Bullshit. Everybody's not equal. So my thing is that you want to fuck around, you're going to find out. And that's what I think we should be doing right now. That's why and I get a lot of flack from my sister about this because she's not too fond of what's going on in Iran. But I'm like, hey, you know what? Finish it. Finish it. You know, I think Trump was quoted earlier this week as we're going to effing bomb the shit out of them or something like that. Beat the shit out. Do it. Do it. I'm tired of it. It's been almost 50 years of them playing games and us trying to be politically correct and trying to treat them as decent human beings. Sometimes in this world, you're going to encounter people who are not decent human beings, who are nothing more than narcissistic assholes who want nothing more than to take what you have. No, not on my watch. And I really don't think I'm the only one who feels that way. I'm pretty sure you don't feel that way. But the problem is we only talk like this behind closed doors or having a coffee with a friend. We don't talk about it enough publicly to people who maybe we're not friends with and people who may suggest other lighter, touchy-feelier methods of dealing with stuff. No. There's what's that saying? It's like strong men create good times, which create weak men, which create bad times, which bad times create strong men, and it's that cycle. We're in the part of the loop where we've got a bunch of weak men out there who are just allowing bullshit to happen under the guise of some moral superiority, when what we really need is to put a boot in some people's asses and show them the door and get things back to normal. And I'm talking normal because there is normal and there's abnormal. And the stuff we're seeing going on right now, people, well, define normal. Your normal isn't the same as mine. Shut up. You know what I'm talking about, okay? There is a level of normalcy that we can all expect living in the United States. There's a level of normalcy we should all be able to expect when it comes to living and sharing this planet. But like I said earlier, there are those pieces of shit that float around out there who want nothing more than to take what you have. And some of them just want to be anarchists for the hell of it. They just want to see the world burn. And what's happening is we're allowing those people to win. We're allowing them to have their way because we have men like Sean Hannity who, as soon as something gets difficult in a church he's dedicated and devoted over 50 years of his life to, as soon as it got difficult and he thinks, oh God, it's infiltrated, he walks away. Would you do that? Would you do that to something that you have believed in with your heart and soul and mind for all of your life, just because you think something, it got infiltrated and there's bad actors afoot and they're trying to destroy all that you've built? Would you do that? Would you walk away from it? Would you say, ooh, I can't do this, so I'm gonna abandon ship and I'm gonna go get on this new boat where things appear to be nicer and calmer? No. I want to dig in and be like, no, I'm going to fight for this. And that's why when people ask me, oh, do you condone everything that happens in the Catholic Church? There are priests out there doing it. Of course I don't. Don't be an idiot. You know what I mean? I had this conversation with somebody on X this week in regards to President Trump. They were just convinced that he is a PDF file, if you get my drift, and that he had done inappropriate things with minors. And I'm like, there's no proof of that. And they're like, oh, in the Epstein files. And I'm like, there's no proof of it in the Epstein files. And they were like, I can't believe you're protecting that. And I'm like, let me be real clear. When it comes to pieces of shit, that this whole new language of, what is it? A minorly attracted individuals for a PDF file, pedophile. I'm going to dance around it. You want to sit there and say they're minorly attractive now? That's the label they have for it? No, screw that. They're a pedophile. They're doing horrible things to children. Castrate or kill them. That's my opinion. Castrate or kill them. I don't care which one. But I do care that they get adjudicated and have their day in court. Everyone is entitled to their day in court and equal justice under the law. But if they are found guilty and evidence is shown that, yes, they in fact did this, castrate or kill them. I don't feel bad for them at all. They chose what they chose. And it's the same thing with Catholic priests. If there's a Catholic priest doing that, that's not of God. That is not of God. That is evil. That is purest form of evil. And yet we have people out there who want to defend that and soften the language and say, oh, they're just minorly attracted. No. That's bullshit. And we need to call bullshit. And we need to say so loudly and definitively with harsh consequences. Ron White, he did a comedy show years ago where he was talking about the death penalty in the state of Texas. And how a lot of people will, murderers will sit on death row for 30 years. And in the state of Texas at the time, we were trying to pass a law that said if 2 or more credible witnesses saw you commit murder and kill somebody, you don't spend the next 20, 30 years on death row. You go straight to the head of the line, right? So in other states, they're trying to abolish the death penalty, and Texas is trying to put in an express lane. That was the punchline. Yeah, put in an express lane for those fuckers. Let's have that happen. Now, I'm a little unfiltered today. Like I said, I've got a migraine. I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to have to put some warnings on this that there's going to be some salty language. But like Dr. Taylor Marshall says, the Bible says that we are the salt of the earth, the salt of the earth, and you'll inherit the kingdom of heaven. And go out there and be salty. Well, today I'm being a little salty, so you're getting some salt with your coffee today. But this is the stuff I was trying to convey last time that I never got around to, and I really don't know why. But I'm so sick of the bullshit. And I'm so sick of people having these opinions in the solitude of their home, and they're very passionate about it whenever we're talking like this, but then they don't say anything whenever you clearly see in the news and out on the streets and people behaving the way that they behave. Now, I will say this. It is getting slightly better. I'm starting to see a few select men start acting like men again. And I'm very, very pleased at seeing that. You know, I like that, and we need more of it. We need more of it, because things are not going to get better until the men of this world and of this country stand up and say, you know what? These are the things that we believe in. And either these things that we believe are good and right and true. There's a quote from the movie First Night with Sean Connery. And I'm going to play that for you. I'm probably going to get a copyright ding for it, but I don't care, because it explains this situation in this moment perfectly. Check it out.
Come, your hand on it. We'll all live together as friends.
You offer me what isn't yours to give.
You all know me. You know I'm a man of my word. Don't make an enemy of me. I mean no harm to Camelot.
You know the law we live by. And where is it written, beyond Camelot live lesser people? People too weak to protect themselves, let them die.
Other people live by other laws, Arthur. Or is the law of Camelot to rule the entire world?
There are laws that enslave men, and laws that set them free. Either what we hold to be right and good and true is right and good and true for all mankind under God, or we're just another robber tribe.
Your fine words are talking you out of peace and into war.
There's a peace that's only to be found on the other side of war. If that battle must come, I will fight it.
And I! And I! And I!
Now, in addition to that, I want to say something else. And since I'm already going to get a ding on this one for copyright stuff, I might as well throw in a second one. And the point is this. We don't have to necessarily wage war on individuals or the left or the right or whatever you want to do. It doesn't have to be a war. But we can let them know, those people who we see doing those things that we don't want happening in our lives and in our country. We can let those people know that if you continue to do these things, we will make the prospect of that war not worth the cost for you, not us. Oh, we'll pay that cost happily, but will you endure that cost? And Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders said it great. He said this.
And the only way to guarantee peace is by making the prospect of war seem hopeless.
I think that it's beyond time that the men of this country and the men of this world start standing up like what our grandparents did during World War II when they saw the world going to shit and stopped the Nazis. And we stopped the atrocities that were going on. I'm not calling any political party a Nazi, so don't come at me with that crap either. It's an analogy, okay? If you're intellectually weak enough to think that, oh, you're calling the left Nazis, you're a moron, don't watch my channel. Click off this video, move on with your pathetic existence of a life, because you're not intellectually capable to have these types of conversations. So why are you here? But for those of you who are, you understand the meaning behind what I'm saying, and that we are seeing atrocities and horrible, horrible behavior that's gone unchecked for too long. It's gone unchecked for too long. We need to stand up and say something about it. And it begins with pointing it out and calling it what it is. We've got to start somewhere, and that's where we need to start. We need to start by calling out the bullshit. Because unfortunately, there are those out there who are conducting this abysmal behavior, who will shout and yell at us and call us names and call us these horrible things, thinking they have the moral high ground, and to defend their actions whenever you know damn well their actions are not for the good of everybody. So that's all I have to say for this one. I'm going to be real interested to see what the comment section has to say this go round. And I will, as I used to say in my videos, I will see you in the comment section, but that doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to waste my energy replying to you, because there are some people, like I said, who are not worthy or capable of having conversations like this. So for those of you who put thoughtful comments down there, and I think I know who you are, thanks in advance for that, and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy your coffee if it's still warm.